I'm convinced that government should do something to bring the teaching of Arabic, especially in northern part of the country where we have majority of Muslims, compulsory, so that at least it will bring out the best out of us in terms of Islamic practice, and then to get undiluted knowledge.
Biko, I would love you all to pay a serious attention to this video. The process of Islamizing Nigeria is completed. They are just waiting the appropriate time to execute it. With what we are seeing in today's world, I want us to talk a few things about the Islamization of Nigeria. To me, the statement made by Bala Mohammed, the governor of Bauchi, it has nothing to do with us. Shouldn't have been a much concern for many people, especially people from the southeast, which is the Ndibo. But all of a sudden, it has become a major concern. And I want us to draw all the dots together. That's why you have to pay attention. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do us a favor by clicking on the subscribe button. Let's make this whole thing make sense. Firstly, they introduced a Muslim ticket in 2022/2023 general election and make it look like normal. This is the first step they made to actualize their intention of making Nigeria an Islamic state after Buhari fell. Secondly, the statement that Bala Mohammed, the governor of Bauchi, made. For those that didn't get the news, let's read. Let's integrate Arabic into Nigeria educational curriculum, Bala Mohammed tell governments. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed has called for the integration of Arabic education into Nigeria educational curriculum to ensure equal recognition and opportunity for graduates who obtain their qualification from Arabic-speaking country. Governor Mohammed made the call when he received a delegation of Saudi Arabia businessmen and the leadership of Nigeria students studying in Saudi universities at the government house in Bauchi. Let's make this something specific. He said that government should introduce Arabic in educational curriculum for who and who to start studying. Despite that, we know that at the end of the day, it might be an optional. Now, who is studying language in school? Because to me, it has no meaning, because if you're in Arab country, you definitely learn it through means of communication by communicating with the Arabians. So definitely we are going to learn it. So nobody is talking about that. That's where they want to enforce it. And once they enforce Arabic into the Nigerian curriculum, it means that every state in Nigeria will be teaching Arabic. That's how the Arabic people do.
Culture in our people, while at the same time bringing the Fulanis in one fold and try to arrest their traditional practice of moving from one place to the other. And that is very big, an uphill task. But I think we can communicate with them more, because to them they don't have borders from Cameroon to Nigeria.
But that's the thing, Your Excellency. How do we ensure that those who will be participating in this federal government largely funded program will be Nigerians?
In terms of the funding?
No, in terms of the
operations.
Operations. You said to bring in the Fulanis together. We have Fulanis from other countries.
The issue of misconception, I said there is a lot of mistrust and misconception with regards to the Fulani man. The Fulani man is a global or an African person. He moves from the Gambia, from Senegal, and his nationality is just a Fulani man. And as a person, I may have my relations in the Cameroon, but they are also Fulani men. I have relations because from the maternal side, I'm a Fulani man. And that is why we want to educate people. A Fulani man sees himself as a Bayelsan, as somebody coming from the Niger Delta, because he speaks the Niger Delta language, which you and I don't. And of course, we would have to just take this as part of our own heritage, something that is African, and that we cannot just close the border and say the Fulani man is just a Nigerian or this. No. In most cases, the crises are precipitated by those outside Nigeria. When there is a reprisal, it is not the Fulani man within Nigeria that causes it. It is that culture of getting revenge, which is embedded in the tradition of the Fulani man, that attracts reprisal from all over the
If I understand it, does that mean that those Fulani men who are maybe domiciled in other countries, who move around, they can come into the country and this plan will accommodate them as well?
Yes, that's what we want to do. But it has to be done through sensitization, telling them you have to buy in the project. And you use the language, the culture itself to be able to convince them. Away from the mistrust where the whole system of transhumance or pastoralism is criminalized. Criminalization of pastoralism is the problem that we have with this project. And it requires people with passion who understand them and who they believe in, people like us from that part of the country, to say, yes, we have this. Because today there is no limit to the accusation that this and that has happened and it is the Fulani man who caused it. There is no tribe that is not, that you don't have this criminality in. But certainly the way and manner we do it is really excavating the crisis and the problems.
Will there be any form of documentation of all the people that will be,
yes, we are
within that?
Oh yes, that is going to give Nigeria the opportunity to really have the best in terms of documentation in the demographics. Because, as I said, the Fulani man settles anywhere he can feed his cattle. And so, if they are put in one place and they are made to understand that this is to save them and their animals, they are exposed to the vagaries of the forest and what is going on, cattle rustling, killings and what have you, and that's why it is important for them to understand that staying in one place is good. And of course, in terms of the best practice of carrying the meat, the cows and the
let's stay with that security angle for a bit. Is there going to be, this plan going to be a fenced enclosure where anyone who comes in is secured, so there is no one that can just come in from anywhere else?
No. It is going to be a colony, and a colony does not require a fence.
You will understand
it is not going to be a prison.
You will understand the reason why people are concerned, because of all the security issues that have been happening over time. So if that...
These forests are there anyway. If you don't occupy them and create a colony out of them, they create places for the criminals. And today, that's why you have the Sambisa forest, because it is not being utilized.
But now let's move to their third step. There's a news that broke up last weekend, and it says, Senate ban preaching, hawking a commercial buses. Okay, 50,000 fine. Let's read further, please. The Senate on Thursday passes the Federal Road Safety Corps Amendment Bill 2026, proposing a 50,000 fine for anyone convicted of hawking, trading or preaching inside commercial vehicle. The bill, which seeks to strengthen road safety enforcement and court practice considered capable of distracting driver, now awaits presidential assent. If signed into law, the legislation will impose a 50,000 fine, 6 months imprisonment or both on motorists who refuses to cooperate with officials of the FRLC. And how is that also another step to actualize Islamization? Now let's take this point. They say that they are going to find anyone preaching, that because that's where concerns mostly Igbo, and that's where the whole amendments get annoying. They said that preaching in vehicle distracts the drivers. Okay, we are cool with that. And that amendment, they never amend about the Muslims who pray and block the road during their time. Now let me give you a short story. Last week I was driving home. Then I came to a checkpoint. There were three police officers in that checkpoint, and that was around 7 p.m. So two of the police officers were standing. I guess among the three officers, one is a Muslim, where the two are Christian. Because the one that I assumed to be a Muslim went to pray beside the police van, and the remaining two were standing on that checkpoint. As they were trying to amend, since the Senate and the road safety feel like they want to amend this particular thing, why is it that they should have amended everything together? If you are coming from Lagos and unfortunately it happens to be on a Friday and you happen to drive where there is Muslim dominance, I swear to God, you have to wait until they finish their prayers on that Friday before the motor will start moving, because they are going to block the whole mosque and the whole road. And the road safety did never consider starting it while passing or while amending their bill to the Senate. That's to tell you that every law that Nigeria always make or amend is to make sure that they curb the Christian in one side. And who are these Christians? They are the Igbos, the Biafrans. And that is their step in making sure that they actualize Islamization. To share your own opinion in the comment section, and don't forget to click on the subscribe button if this is your first time coming across our channel.
Excellency, much as yes, I mean, they're fantastic. We have met a lot of them who are Fulanis as well. But the concern too is, why should federal government use resources for this country to accommodate Fulani men who are not Nigerians?
You see, as I said, we are already accommodating them. Do you delineate and then really know who is not a Fulani man from Nigeria? They are all Nigerians, because I said their identity, their own citizenship is Nigerian, even though we have relations all over the world, all over Africa. And so, presumably they are Nigerians. I think you get me. That is the misunderstanding. They move from one place to the other, and they have relations, kith and kins in all the parts of the country and even outside the country. So that is why our own population is fluid. You can certainly not say this is the population of Nigeria.
The delegation was led by the director of the Center for Sunnah Studies in Africa, Dr. Shuaibu Idris, who said the visit was to appreciate Governor Bala Mohammed's commitment to education and brief him on the center's activities, particularly its support for Bauchi State students studying in Saudi Arabia. Receiving the delegation, Governor Bala Mohammed expressed concern over what he described as the gradual decline of northern Nigeria's rich Arabic educational heritage.
I'm convinced that government should do something to bring the teaching of Arabic, especially in northern part of the country where we have majority of Muslims, compulsory, so that at least it will bring out the best out of us in terms of Islamic practice, and then to get undiluted knowledge of the Hadith and the Quran.
He said integrating Arabic education into the national curriculum will provide graduates with equal opportunities and strengthen educational development across the country.
We're not going to do something to make sure we mainstream you within our curricula. We mainstream you within our own public service structure so that you will be employed when you come. Your employability must be such that when your certificate is brought here, we will see it, and then of course it is something you take it to Minister of Education, Federal Minister of Education.
Representatives of the Nigerian students studying in Saudi Arabian universities thank Governor Bala Mohammed for his continued support and encouragement. They pledged to apply the knowledge and experience acquired abroad to the development of Bauchi State and Nigeria upon completion of their studies.